a lot of our moral principles have come from religion chronologically, or from religious
Our best moral principles have come from religion?
Yes.
Just descriptively.
Sure.
Come from religion.
Sure.
Okay.
And therefore we should believe in the religion to be better people?
No, I think that it would just be mistaken to remove any supernatural claim as something extraneous. I guess.
If we remove religion, then we'll be less moral?
If we remove the supernatural aspect of religion?
If we remove the supernatural, if we stop believing the supernatural, we'll be less moral?
I think that, well, I don't know if that's maybe a little too far further than I want to go at this point. Maybe I agree with that, maybe I don't, but I haven't really fleshed that out quite yet.
Street epistemology is a way of discussing others' beliefs in a way that gets them to reflect on them. So if you come in with a belief where you can have a discussion with you about that belief,
or Eric
I
can
have
have
a client at 3, so I have to run.
Okay.
No worries. I feel like I do this every night. I live with 2 other philosophers.
Yeah, we have 2 interviewers here, one who's leaving, so you're covered.
Yeah, it's sweet. All right.
So you actually knew what epistemology was before stopping?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I didn't know what street epistemology was.
One of the few.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Everyone
feel
gets
like
the street part.
this side of campus usually leads into the stems.
Oh,
but if on that side, if you would go over there, I'm sure you would.
Okay.
The stems usually know what epistemology is,
Really?
and in fact model it better.
Not necessarily.
Oh, is that?
Oftentimes.
That wasn't my hot
They
take.
have,
No,
they have-
no.
They have naive scientism.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, very, Baconian.
Yeah, very much.
I got.
But when I ask them questions that are epistemologically related,
No.
they spill immediately. They don't have to work
I
it.
got. Annoyed
What's your reason?
at
Oh,
this
they
podcast
probably
the other
already
day.
told me in their
People have
claim.
been like,
What's your reason behind the
only
reason?
say something
They're
be
got
true
right
if
there.
there's like a
Yeah.
randomized control
Well, I think
trial
that's
of
a lot
it.
of. I
It's
mean,
like,
because
goddamn,
science is
people
pretty
are good.
based
Other
in
sources of
rationalism.
evidence,
Isn't it?
Very much.
like,
Yeah,
make
so-
things likely to
Yeah,
be
it's
true.
kind of implicated in just what they do, like to begin with,
Very much. Very much.
like the reasons behind it. Well, that's why I like philosophy though, because it kind of makes you think like, well, what if the basis for these other fields is wrong or right?
Yeah.
You consider the different ways of viewing things like that.
Okay. I do have
Anyway,
to go see my client.
thank
All
you.
right, so good to see you.
Thank you, Eric. Hang on. Huh?
Oh yeah, your mic.
I'm
yeah.
I'm violating your personal space.
Good call.
I'm gonna put it on you
Oh yeah, go for
if you're good with that.
it, please.
Little troll doll hat there for you.
I don't know what hot takes I have for the cheapest spring.
Or just, what should someone know that people don't really know about?
What should someone know that people don't really know about? Well, I think that from a religious standpoint, there's a tendency, especially like today, to kind of completely invalidate the claim, like any religious claims. And say either that they are like utilitarian, just in the sense that they like give people comfort, but still not rooted in anything real. And then there's like a tendency to say that any real supernatural, like claim as something that exists, supernatural, is completely mistaken and flat out false. Where I think that it would be useful for people to at least consider the possibility.
Yes.
To be useful further than just utilitarian.
Yeah, indeed.
Do you want to facilitate a Spectrum SE with me participating and him participating?
I would love to.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be fun. So, let me
So,
get the camera set up.
Am I? So I'm going to interview, and you're going to.
Yeah, we're going to be standing.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sure.
Cool.
We can start on the neutral. What is the central claim you want to talk about?
Are we talking about the claim that people should consider or be less dismissive of religion?
Sure. I think,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think that it's useful to like argue philosophically about whether or not someone should believe in God or in any religious entity.
Okay.
But I do think that it's useful to, disagree and like have kind of a dialectic about like whether or not it should be considered, or if it should be Yeah, completely dismissed, like as you were saying.
Very good. I bet you're not on neutral for this.
Oh, I didn't.
No,
realize where I was going.
we're starting you on neutral.
Sure.
I want to put him on neutral once he's finished framing, and I'd like you to make sure that two of you are completely agreed on the claim before you move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the claim.
What are we talking about?
This is that people should be more willing to consider religious claims and not be so dismissive and just toss them off as utilitarian or for philosophical reasons toss them out or
Yeah,
other
for lack of
reasons.
evidence.
It's a
for lack of
should
evidence.
normative claim.
Is this a
People
normative claim?
should be more open to religion.
Yeah, it's a normative claim, and I think that there's probably a benefit to them and to society tied to it.
Sure.
But I
would
haven't heard
say,
that
yeah.
one yet.
I would say maybe, I guess maybe less normative, but more you're doing yourself a disservice by not considering.
Okay. What goal is served?
In considering religious claims.
Well, I guess there's a goal on each side, sir. On I suppose on dismissing, it's the goal of, oh, I don't even have to think about this anymore. Ha! And I'm
Right,
so
right.
superior because I
Yeah.
think right.
Yeah.
What would be the goal served by being more open to changing my beliefs about supernatural?
Well, I think that there's something to be discovered from a moral perspective, at least, by treating religious claims as if they're true. It seems like we can discover things rather than just saying, okay, some of these things might be true and some might not be, and we just kind of pick and choose which ones we want to. It seems almost what's it called, anachronistic to say like, oh, okay, we can take the claim. Or the principles that we've gotten morally from Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, any of these things, but remove the supernatural claims from them.
Are you saying morality is best understood through religion or with religion?
Yeah, I think that there are certainly moral principles that we've derived from religion. Other than that, it's best understood through it.
Okay.
That's a claim. Morality is best understood through religion.
Right. Or at least a lot of our moral principles have come from religion chronologically, or from religious
Our best
thinking.
moral principles that come from religion.
Yes.
Just descriptively,
Sure.
come from religion,
Sure.
Okay.
and therefore we should believe in the religion to be better people.
No, I think that it would just be mistaken to remove any supernatural claim as something extraneous, I guess.
If we remove religion, then we'll be less moral.
If we remove the supernatural aspect of religion?
If we remove the supernatural, if we stop believing the supernatural, we'll be less moral.
I think that, well, I don't know if that's maybe a little too far further than I want to go at this point. Maybe I agree with that, maybe I don't, but I haven't really fleshed that out quite yet. I would say that that it seems like there's at least some utility or some reason that these moral claims were able to be derived alongside a belief in the supernatural, rather than just coming up with them rationally. And then, it doesn't seem like they were just come up with and then attributed to some supernatural belief, but it seems like the supernatural belief influenced the way that they were derived.
Is the best explanation for morality supernatural? Would that be a claim?
Possibly. I guess I would rather just say it doesn't seem like we were able to arrive at certain moral principles that we take to be true in today's society, and just generally speaking, without the supernatural claims.
Like a historical claim, a descriptive historical claim that we got to them through religion,
Right.
but that doesn't necessarily mean the religion is true.
Right, so that's kind of the critical point. Like, it's like, okay, maybe we arrived at these things only through religion. So is the religion useful in itself? Or is the religion fundamental to the claim?
Okay. We can start talking about that. So
Sure.
the claim is, you say the claim however you want to say it, and we'll go
Yes.
from there.
Okay, let's see. Religious thinking is the source of, religious thinking, particularly in supernatural aspects, is the historical and or epistemological root of a lot of our moral principles, and therefore to throw out the supernatural claims seems possibly mistaken, and to completely disregard those.
Okay. We can start with it's a mistake to throw out the supernatural.
Sure.
Let's go with that because I'm hearing the morality as reasons for that claim.
Right.
Okay,
It's a mistake to throw out the supernatural.
Sure.
Good. So think about where you're going to go. Do you both know where you're going to stand?
I do.
It is mistaken to throw out the supernatural is the claim.
It's a mistake to throw out the supernatural, as as a species.
Yeah.
Ignore where I'm standing. I'm not trying to influence at all.
Yeah. I would agree.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So, tell me a reason that would move him one notch this way.
Okay, well, it seems. Well, I guess I would ask first. Why would you disagree with that?
Guess it's the baby with the bathwater type of situation. I don't see much baby in religion anymore. If we threw out, well, the supernatural. That's the claim. It's a mistake to throw out the supernatural.
Okay.
I don't think anything supernatural is true. We can throw away anything that's false. That's fine with me.
Okay.
Well, right. Okay. Then, do you believe that? So, I guess the next question: if we agreed that moral claims have been at least largely based in these supernatural claims, why do you believe that would be true? If there's nothing true about the supernatural claim, I guess. Like, I guess why would we be able to derive true things from the untrue claim if the claim itself is not true at all?
Yeah, there can be like really flawed reasons for getting to true things, and religion, like say the claim it's bad to torture babies for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess any religion would say that's bad,
Right.
but I'm not going to believe that's true because the religion says so. I have other more high quality ways of getting to that truth besides religion, so I can just throw away the supernatural justification and be just as moral with other reasons.
Well, it seems like there are equally logical reasons to believe. Well, I guess okay. So, in what like where do you kind of put your value theory? Like what moral system do you abide by generally, or like what process would you use to figure out that claim? I mean, it seems intuitive, but it's kind of.
It's a mix, I assume, between deontology and utilitarianism,
Okay. Yeah.
depending on the claim. If it's about well-being of people, then I usually just go with some kind of utilitarian calculus.
Okay. So then I guess we could kind of. Well, okay. I think that there are problems present in utilitarianism, like a situation where, let's say we have to. What was the example of torture a baby?
It's bad to torture babies for fun.
Right. Okay. Let's say that. Oh, for fun. I guess that changes the math a little bit. But a classic kind of idea is like in utilitarianism. Let's say that there's a society that really enjoys torturing babies, and there just happens to be more people that enjoy torturing the babies than there are babies that are being tortured. So it seems like in a utilitarian kind of framework that
So
would be
control the problem. If you put enough babies on one side, you can make it work.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's a million
Yeah.
babies on the side of babies that are being tortured, but only 1,000 people torturing the babies, then it seems wrong because there's more people deriving any pleasure or pain.
And I'm hoping to appeal to that seeming
Sure.
being as a part of the justification. It just seems wrong, just the way
Yeah.
it seems like my hand is in front of my face. There's these base intuitions that we kind of go off of for anything.
Well, right, and I think that that's kind of where I think that a lot of these supernatural claims work off of these base intuitions, and that if there's an experience, and particularly religious experiences, that people have. Oh, hey, sorry, I have a friend. if there's these religious experiences that people have claimed to have an intuition or like kind of some sense about, then it doesn't seem like you can say that based off of the intuition alone we can understand moral truths. But if we have intuitions about some other things, that it's completely rational to be dismissive about those either.
See, it's like a hypothetical.
Sure.
Can you think of a situation where somebody comes to the right moral choice because they bought into the supernatural thing and they had the right answer, but that turned out worse because they came to the right answer for the wrong reason?
Oh,
Do you recognize that somebody could come to the right moral choice for the wrong reason and be right?
right.
Okay.
Well, I think then, I guess from a historical standpoint, I would ask why it took religion to get to a lot of these fundamental principles. Like,
Can you
like
think of a situation where we came to a fundamental principle without or in spite of religion?
it's hard to do historically because religion is such a huge part of human existence.
How about trans rights?
Right.
Sorry, it's a soapbox of mine. I'll get off. Go ahead.
No. Well, I think that a lot of the ideas that necessitate or contribute to the idea of trans rights and individual rights at all come from religion fundamentally.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the idea of like a sovereign individual came, I think, from the religious Western history more than, I mean,
Yeah, seems right.
at least in the West. It
Yeah.
came from, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, probably.
Are there any important modern social values that we have that are independent of religion or maybe in spite of it?
Well, it's tough because I think that a lot of the way that we think about rights, and if not all of the ways that we think about rights, are rooted in some religious context. I think that we've kind of abstracted a lot of or our societal morality and like the way that we think about these issues from kind of like a framework that we take to be like an assumption. Right, so like the idea of like individual rights, the idea of like everyone's right to live peacefully and be who they are.
Yeah.
I think that came from this religious tradition a lot more than people give credit to.
Okay.
And the fact that we take those as an assumption kind of goes to my point that we take these as assumptions more than maybe.
So, if I had two different groups of people and they came to the same agreement about not swinging their face into each other's face,
Right.
but they came to it from completely different directions, would both of the directions be equally valid, useful, or is there a difference? Is one of them more right than the other?
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, I think that, yeah, I guess in some sense they have gone to the same solution. I mean, we'd have to look at the reasons that they believe what they do.
Sure.
To analyze that. But
matter a lot.
Yeah. I think that for the most part, yeah, if they come to the same conclusion, then sure, they've gotten to the same correct conclusion.
Okay.
However, I think the part that's important is that the central claim is that it's mistaken to throw out these supernatural beliefs.
Okay.
So the question is really, okay, why didn't anyone come up with these or get to these solutions without the supernatural beliefs, at least as kind of like a framework?
Right.
Like, it's really hard to, for all intents and purposes, without the supernatural claim, it seems like something like nihilism is just as logically consistent, or at least philosophically consistent, as something like existentialism, or deontology, or utilitarianism. So there seems to be a lot of reasons to believe different things. And if you take a lot of those philosophies seriously, then you get to some really extreme and seemingly unintuitive conclusions.
Yeah.
So I get that, there are these reasons that we've kind of looked at to analyze our moral claims with, after the fact and say, okay, well, we can see where, torturing babies isn't universalizable, right? As like Kant would say. But does it seem like that's a little bit unfair to, you know, I'm not smarter than Kant, so I'm not going to try to come up with an example that Kant wouldn't refute. You know? Does it seem like that's like attributing anachronistically, like these reasons to this thing that we believe for completely different reasons, that it took a long time to develop these claims and these moral principles, but now we have kind of like we took the reasoning from the claim and came up with a new reason that never would have led us to that naturally.
Okay.
If that makes enough sense.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I'm hearing kind of like a moral training wheels type argument of what that's what religion is for humanity. It's like training wheels are good, but we can evolve as a species to just let go of the training wheels and be more mature, not having to rely on the supernatural to justify morality. It did provide for us a lot of utility in the past, but now after the Enlightenment, we have reason, we have evidence, we have ways of talking about claims in a rational way, and we can just produce this knowledge.
So why aren't you over
in a rational way? That is, why am I not all the way over there?
Yeah, why aren't you over real strongly?
But it's about the speed of tossing it out.
You don't want to push it fast.
Yeah, what is it?
So would that move you here? If you say,
what was the verb toss out?
Yeah.
Religion?
Dismiss.
It's a mistake to whatever religion.
Yeah.
to dismiss the supernatural claims because they seem to have some
don't do that
validity
overnight.
towards morality.
For sure.
Right.
It's going to be a process.
Okay, I guess then
Okay.
at what point? So it was the Enlightenment that would warrant like the at least more fervent dismissal of religious claims.
Yeah, it was a big revolution in terms of where we came from, where we're going.
Yeah.
There's better ways of thinking about these things now.
So that was kind of the I don't know how to put this, like the crescendo of like years of human morality being led by religion and then kind of coming to a point where we no longer need it, or was it like an all at once thing where people had these ideas and it was like, oh shit, like I guess we don't need this.
We're still working out the consequences of getting into modernity and letting go of the supernatural. It's been a process.
Yeah.
So let's just keep going. It seems to be going okay.
If I were really conservative and wanted to go slow, should I be over here on slightly?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean.
What about you? Why aren't you over on strongly? It seems I haven't heard a single reason why you're this direction. All of your reasons put you there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll probably stand somewhere in between. I think that the only reason I wouldn't be on strongly is because I don't want to tell people.
Don't tell Peter.
Yeah.
No, a friend of ours is like, no, pick one.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't care. Go ahead.
I think the idea is that if I move over to strongly, I'd be worried that I would be telling people to believe in religious claims.
Is that not a good reason to move to slightly?
Well, no. I mean, I think that I understand the importance. I have a firm kind of grasp of the importance of why it wouldn't be right to throw out the supernatural or religious claims. But I think if I were to stand on strongly, it would almost seem like, it's mandated.
I hear you.
There's no way to find any morality. I mean, I'm trying to figure things out just as much as the next guy.
So, last item. I'm standing over here on neutral. What's the single most important spiritual, maybe it's a supernatural claim, that I should strongly consider and not dismiss? It's the most important one.
Yeah. That there is such thing as some good that's beyond ourselves.
There's
and
a
that
good
we should
that's beyond
follow.
ourselves.
Yeah, sure.
I already believe that.
Well,
I don't believe in a supernatural component, but I believe there's a huge good in society beyond the individual. Would that count?
Well, what's not supernatural about that, I guess?
Oh, I just find that entirely natural and doesn't require any suspension of my physics or anything. It fits entirely with my materialist worldview.
Well, I mean, in some sense, you're saying that we can. it's almost utilitarian, right? I mean, there's just a better society for more people, and
It's not utilitarian. It's not a normative claim. I'm not saying why I think so. I'm saying that
there just is a better.
I think that I observe a goodness in society and humanity as a default, and the evil as the aberration. And so I'm pretty optimistic on humans and society and the good that's bigger than me. But maybe that's only a trivial example of what you meant.
Well,
I don't want to cheapen what you're saying.
I mean, no, I think that's like that's at least inching towards what I'm saying a little bit more. I mean, because I can think of a million reasons to believe that people are really quite nasty.
Look
and
at the news.
Right, and I can think of a million reasons why people are quite good. And it seems like any sense of intuition that we're going to rely on to say, well, human beings are inherently good, is almost an appeal to the kind of like long-standing belief that people have value in themselves, and people have some sort of spark of goodness within them prior to anything else. And so I would call that a close to religious claim, if not already.
Cool. I'm convinced.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
No, great discussion.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you.
has been great.
Oh.
Thanks, guys.
Hi.
Welcome.
I just
You wanna-
saw this and I'm a little bit intrigued.
You're intrigued.
I'm not sure what's going on, but
Reid, tell them about the thing. Thank you for this conversation.
thank you, guys.
Are
What
you
are
good
your
with? I'm Dolly. This is
Oh,
Reid.
Reid.
Are you okay with us putting this on YouTube?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I'll keep
so
an eye
much.
out for it.
Sure.
Hey, good
Thanks,
talking to you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.